Welcome to Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. So, in today's special episode, I thought I would do a roundup of historical fiction for Revolutionary era America. It's set in the same general time period as Jane Austen for Jane Austen July, but this focuses on the 4th of July and a celebration of all things American. I'm going to do fiction. I'm going to do some nonfiction at the end. I'm going to mention some stuff I haven't read, but I'm interested in. And so hopefully there will be something in here for everyone. First up, I'm going to do the books on my Kindle. So first series is the Revolutionary War Mysteries by Mally Becker. There are currently 2 books in the series. I'm looking at my laptop, by the way. And the first one is called The Turncoat's Widow. The second one is The Counterfeit Wife. I haven't read them. I'm very, very interested. I came very close to buying this book last night. I may buy it, read it on the 4th, so we shall see. I will read you the synopsis. Set during the darkest days of the American Revolution, The Turncoat's Widow tells the fictional story of George Washington's most reluctant spy, a young widow who races time and traitors in New York City in Morristown circa 1780 to uncover a plot that threatens the nation's future. With elements of romance and suspense, this historical mystery also explores themes of resilience, loss, and the courage needed to leave the past behind. I'm interested. I am very, very interested. So if I read it, I will let you know. The next series is, hang on. It's not a series. This is a standalone. It is called The Patriot's Tale. This is on Kindle Unlimited. I did download it last night. It's by Nicole Pierman. And these are all 4-star plus rated on Goodreads. Take that for how you deem that to be worthy. And the synopsis says, the American Revolutionary War rages on. Can a young woman overthrow a loyalist-infested district and help the rebel cause turn the tide? South Carolina, 1778, Lily Thompson burns to overthrow the British. In a daring bid to flee her enemies and join the fledgling American fight, she becomes a ward and takes on the guise of a man. But just after joining a raid against the British Army, the determined freedom fighter is captured and held for ransom for a hefty price. Unable to hide in the shadows after she is released, Lily cannot sit by idly while those around her struggle to survive. Seeing the captain's growing infatuation as a weakness, Lily joins a spy ring in a bid to help the local militia's need to overthrow the vicious British captain. But what will happen to Lily as she plays the dangerous, unnerving game of intrigue? Again, it sounds right up my alley. It's my favorite time period of American history. So, again, we shall see, and I will let you know. The last is the Midwife series. There's 4 or 5 books currently released in this series. It's by Jodi, Daynard. The first one is set in Revolutionary America, thus it's on this list, and that is The Midwife's Revolt. And here's the synopsis. On a dark night in 1775, Lizzie Boylston is awakened by the sound of cannons. From a hill south of Boston, she watches as fires burn Charlestown in a battle that she soon discovers has claimed her husband's life. Alone in a new town, Lizzie grieves privately, but takes comfort in her deepening friendship with Abigail Adams. Soon, word spreads of Lily's extraordinary midwifery and healing skills, and she begins to channel her grief into caring for those who need her. But when 2 traveling patriots are poisoned, Lizzie finds herself with far more complicated matters on her hands. She suspects a political plot intended to harm Abigail and her family. Determined to uncover the truth, Lizzie becomes entangled in a conspiracy that could not only destroy her livelihood and her chance at finding love again, but also lead to the downfall of a new nation. Again, what is not to love in that description? So, those are my Kindle books. The next couple I have physical copies of, or I own on Audible, and so I will insert a picture. Next up would be the cozy mystery where Abigail Adams herself is the heroine. There are 3 books in the series. I have read the first one. The first one is The Ninth Daughter. The second one is A Marked Man. And the last one is Sup with the Devil. Ugh, horrible glare this morning. Sorry about that. I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I will admit I am probably somewhat biased and predisposed to that because my love for Abigail Adams is no secret to anyone. So, yeah. It was a no-brainer for me. I'm savoring reading the last 2 because I know when they're done, they're done. We will see. Next up is America's First Daughter by Dray, Kamorie. Picture right here. I have this on Audible. I did start this in, I want to say, July of 2021. And I wasn't in the mindset. Dave was about to get a job offer. He was about to start a new job. We were trying to sell a house and trying to buy a house from a long distance. And my brain was not in the mood for this book. I will give this book another chance. I have it on Audible. I will read you the synopsis. From her earliest days, Patsy Jefferson knows that though her father loves his family dearly, his devotion to his country runs deeper still. As Thomas Jefferson's oldest daughter, she becomes his helpmate, protector, and constant companion in the wake of her mother's death, traveling with him when he becomes America's minister to France. It is in Paris, at the glittering court and among the first tumultuous days of revolution, that 15-year-old Patsy learns about her father's troubling liaison with Sally Hemings, a slave girl her own age. Meanwhile, Patsy has fallen in love with her father's protege, William Short, a staunch abolitionist and ambitious diplomat. Torn between love, principles, and the bonds of family, Patsy questions whether she can choose a life as William's wife and still be a devoted daughter. Her choice will follow in the years to come to Virginia farmland, Monticello, and even the White House. And as scandal, tragedy, and poverty threaten her family, Patsy must decide how much she will sacrifice to protect her father's reputation, in the process defining not just his political legacy, but that of the nation he founded. I will go back to this book. It will probably not be this month, but this is something I should love. And they have written several books. The next one is also by the same authors. I know I won't read this one this year. It's just too wicked thick for me this month. That is My Dear Hamilton. It is the story of Eliza Schuler Hamilton. I will read you the 3 italicized little blurbs on the inside cover rather than the whole thing. A general's daughter, a founding father's wife, the last surviving light of the revolution. We don't hear a lot about Alexander Hamilton's wife. She's rarely mentioned. She does not have anywhere near the fame and notoriety of, let's say, Abigail or Martha or Dolly Madison. And yet, she was amazing. So I am looking forward to this. It is a chonker. I do like the fact that the authors put in historical notes and questions and stuff. So I like that. But this is, 621 pages. And I know my brain this month cannot handle that. However, it's on my radar. They do have one more revolutionary historical fiction coming out. I know very little about it. It is called Founding Mother. I don't know when it releases. I'm assuming this year, maybe? Don't know. Have to check. And it is the life of Abigail Adams. I am always up for a good Abigail Adams story. She's my favorite. So, next up, controversial author. All I have to say is, if we only read books by people we always agreed with politically, life would be an echo chamber, and that is not a healthy thing. So that would be the Revolutionary War series by Newt Gingrich and his co-author William R. Fortschen. I have read the first one of the series, that is To Try Men's Souls. Sorry about the glare. The second one is Valley Forge. And the third book in the series is Victory at Yorktown. So these are historical fiction, obviously. And the first book is based around a fictional young man who joins the Revolutionary War. He meets all kinds of very famous, easily recognized members of the Revolution. And it is a beautifully moving story. I did not expect to cry at the end. I was bawling. It was immensely enjoyable. I am looking forward to the next two. I savor them, so I plowed through the series. And that's just a personal thing. Okay, so next up would be the nonfiction recommendations. Some of these I no longer have, but I've read them. So first up would be Founding Mothers by Cokie Roberts. This is a brief, not synopsis, not summary. It's a little more detailed than that, but that's what it is. Glimpse into the lives of women who were central to the founding of the country and what we became post-revolution. Talks about people like, of course, Abigail Adams, Martha, all of those women that changed the shape of the nation. It is a very good reference book if you have children studying that period of history. It is approachable. It isn't overly academic in tone. If you know anything about Cokie Roberts, she was a journalist. She wasn't an academic. And so it is readable. It's not, ivory tower prose by any respect. Next up is the autobiography of John Adams by David McCullough. I can also recommend the HBO miniseries. It is available on streaming services everywhere. The book is wonderful, a little more academic than, let's say, the Founding Mothers by Cokie Roberts, but it isn't ivory tower prose either. The miniseries, however, is beautifully acted. It's beautifully filmed. It is, in essence, a love story to John Adams and Abigail. And I could easily rewatch it time and time again. Next up is, make sure I haven't missed anything. Nope, I haven't missed anything. Dearest Friend by Lynn Withey. This is my last Abigail's, Withey is her last name, not Whitney. It is a biography of Abigail Adams. That is Abigail at 22 on the cover. I am hopeful this is less academic than the Abigail one I finished this year and have donated to the library. It appears to be so just flipping through the book, so maybe I will read it next year. Because I can't have 2 disappointing Abigail books in one year. That would just be soul crushing. So, last up is my current read. It is historical fiction. It is book 1 in the Molly Chase series. That is In Pieces by Rhonda Ortiz. Book 2 is Adrift. It releases in August of this year. This is set in post-revolutionary Boston. 1793. This is fabulous. It is moving and so well written and well researched and just an enjoyable read, and you fall in love with the characters almost immediately. And I cannot recommend this book enough. It is so, it has such a unique perspective on what was taking place in Boston at the time. And it challenges, because it isn't dealing with, let's say, Abigail and John, or, you know, Paul Revere, or Sam Adams, or, you know, any of those names that immediately pop to mind. And yet, it does, and it shall, because at the end, Washington is mentioned. Book 2, they're going to Philadelphia. It is Christian, Catholic in particular, fiction, and it is so well done that I am in love with this book. I will finish it this weekend. I am doing a specific review for it. It should be on everybody's radar. It hasn't gotten enough attention, in my opinion. So stay tuned for that review in particular. Have I missed anything? I'm always up for good Revolutionary War historical fiction. If I have, please leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.